At the beginning of the story, we see an ambulance carrying a patient to the hospital. The man lying on the stretcher died on the way. He was a young boy who had signed organ donation forms. This meant all his organs would be used to help others. 2 doctors began surgery to remove his organs. That man's skin was tougher than a rhino's. The doctors were having great difficulty extracting the organs. After a while, when the work was completed, a nurse suddenly ran out screaming. When the doctors rushed into the operation theater, they saw the patient turning completely into ash and disappearing. Anyway, his heart was given to a young girl named Lisa. The strange thing was that her body did not reject the heart at all. She recovered instantly. Within a day or two, the hospital sent her home. But the strange thing was that a circular mark had appeared on her hand. This mark looked like a tattoo that she had never gotten. Lisa's father ran a taekwondo gym. Lisa had been very fond of taekwondo since a young age. But then she had a heart attack during a match, and her father got very scared. He wouldn't let her fight at all. One day, while her father was talking to the landlord, Lisa did a spinning kick on a punching bag. That punching bag tore through the ceiling and fell down. She didn't have this much power even when she was perfectly healthy. Now she wanted to test this new power. She went to the street, tied her shoes facing an uphill climb, and then started running at full speed like Krish. She even left a person on a scooter behind. For a moment, she felt she had become so fast that she would fly, but then suddenly the downhill started and it became difficult for her to stop. A small truck was parked below. She collided with it so hard that she almost overturned the truck. After this heart transplant, she had become extremely powerful. Someone secretly filmed her and put it online. Her name was visible on her taekwondo uniform. A boy read her name and the gym's name and quickly reached there. He tried to take Lisa's photo from a distance, but Lisa reached him instantly and caught him. He couldn't understand how this small girl was so powerful. I can't run away from her. At that moment, Lisa saw that Tom also had a similar strange mark on his hand. Tom told Lisa, "I also received an organ from the same man whose heart you have. He also got superpowers." He explained that a man can donate 6 organs. That means there will be a total of 6 people who have received superpowers. Tom now wanted to find the other people with superpowers, and the very next day after meeting Lisa, they found the 3rd person. That day, Lisa was secretly participating in a race because the winner was going to get very expensive shoes. She won easily, beating everyone, and was looking at her shoes. Then an older woman came to them. She was distributing drinks to people for free because she had a kidney transplant and was now perfectly fine. Hearing this, both immediately checked her hands, but there was no strange mark. But after a while, when the woman turned, they saw a circular mark on her waist. After this, the scene shifted to a very luxurious house where an old man named Mino was lying almost on the verge of death. The patient's eldest daughter came out and called the doctor. "You said father would be fine now. There is no improvement in his condition." But then the old man sat up in bed and said, "I'm hungry. Bring food." Now he looked quite better. He also had a strange mark on his hand. It was clear that superpowers were present inside this rich old man as well. Then we see a young boy in an electronics store. He casually cracked his fingers and all the TVs in front of him turned off at once. Wherever he went, fluctuations in the electric current would begin. This boy's name is Zero. He crossed the road and went into a building. Using his powers, he won everything on the gaming machines. Then he started buying luxury items with all the winnings. Zero was also one of those 6 people who received parts. He was taking full advantage of this new life. His life had switched to easy mode. He was having fun. Then we see Lisa again. She had come for a meal with Tom and that woman named Sophia so they could understand each other's superpowers. Tom said, "I got new lungs. Therefore, my power is connected to my lungs. If I blow hard, a storm comes." But Sophia said, "I haven't felt any power inside me." To this, Tom said, "Don't worry. When all the special people come together, your power will also wake up automatically." Suddenly, the bulbs above them started flickering, after which Zero made his entry. He already knew those 3. He said that from a fair distance, he can tell that the other person has superpowers because he got eyes in the transplant. Tom didn't like this new boy much. He even told Lisa, "We can't trust everyone just like that. One of us might be bad and want all this power for themselves. We will have to trust people thoughtfully." And then the next day, Lisa received a strange message on her phone. Zero had called her somewhere asking for help. He got caught cheating while playing games as usual. And now the casino security guards wanted all the money back from him. "What? Are you Pikachu?" By cracking his fingers, he shakes the electricity. Those 3 reached there to help him. But Tom didn't want to help him. He went to the washroom scratching his leg because he didn't like Zero much. But the hero inside, Lisa, woke up. She said that it is very important to fight against injustice. She took a straw from Sophia's drink and put it under Tom's nose. This made Tom sneeze violently, and such a fierce wind came out of his mouth that all the thugs were blown away. After this, we see that rich old man Mino again. He had an argument with his partner over something. The matter escalated so much that Mino grabbed his partner's neck and sucked the life out of him. He suddenly became very old and Mino became somewhat young. Mino stepped forward and touched a plant, and by sucking all the life out of that plant too, he made it completely dry. After this, we see John in a factory who was putting pressure on the labor working there to move your hands fast. Today we will have to work all night. A worker came forward angrily. Sir, you are doing wrong. It's not right to make us work so much. We have a life too. While they were fighting, suddenly an alarm rang. A worker had fallen from above because there was no good safety arrangement. When no one was looking, John secretly placed his hand on the injured worker's wound. In a few moments, his injury was completely healed. But John was in a lot of pain and he went aside quietly and endured everything. On the other hand, the old man's daughter Tina had understood that this new power inside her father must have come because of the transplant. So she told her people to find out about everyone who got powers from that transplant. Soon her assistant found all the people. At this time, they were running away from the gang members while sitting on Sophia's drinks car because those casino people now wanted to take revenge on them. The assistant also immediately followed them, seeing this. 3 cars were running wildly on the road. Lisa was constantly pushing the cart. She was driving it faster than the cars. She even left the cars far behind after a while, but those casino people were not ready to stop chasing them. Then Tom took out some drinks from the cart and started throwing them at the thugs. Some white liquid fell on their windshield, making them lose their way. They escaped the 4 thugs, but the speed of the cart was so high that they quickly crashed into a barbecue restaurant. The 4 of them started pretending that, "We are just sitting here waiting. Why isn't a waiter coming?" They came out of the restaurant only after nightfall. Tom started fighting with Zero. "Because of you, everyone almost died today." Their fight escalated so much that they all went their separate ways. Lisa became very sad because of this fight. She had been on medical leave for a year, hadn't even gone to school, and had no friends. The time spent with Tom and Sophia had become everything for her, and now everything was over. But then the next day, after calming down a bit, Tom came to apologize to Lisa. He said, "I said a bit too much in anger. Sorry, man. Forgive me." Lisa pretended at first, but then agreed. Now she planned to call the 4 of them to one place again. Meanwhile, Tina's assistant showed her the recorded video, and Tina decided that we have to catch these people. By pulling this power out of their bodies, we can make incredible medicines. Those medicines will be able to cure God knows what kind of diseases. She would become even richer. By then, Lisa, Sophia, and Zero had reached the meeting point. During this, Zero had also found out who received the liver transplant. They were all just waiting for Tom. Then they would all go together to find this new member. On the other side, in the factory, we see John talking to his senior. That, "Sir, we will have to increase the workers' safety a bit." But the people above didn't care about these laborers' lives. The work pressure on John was so much that he even skipped lunch break to complete his work. But his tired colleagues went to eat food. No one noticed that a nearby gas tank was slowly leaking. Outside the factory, our 3 superheroes were waiting for Tom. In the meantime, the sound of a huge bomb blast came from the factory. John quickly started getting all the workers out, so that minimum people would get hurt. But unfortunately, a worker got stuck behind a safety door. Seeing this, John got very nervous. He took his helmet and started breaking the window. But alas, it was of no use. At that same time, Lisa arrived at the right moment. She broke the door with a powerful kick. Also, she was kicking away the gas canisters flying from the blast. But the electronic security door inside was very powerful. Now came Zero's turn, who opened that door in a snap. Tom had also reached there, albeit late. Everywhere was filled with smoke. Injured people were not being found. Then Zero snapped again and turned on everyone's phone ringtones. This gave Tom the location of all the workers. Tom was able to save them very easily because he would pull in a breath and go inside. He had power in his lungs, so he could hold his breath for a very long time. As soon as a worker was brought there in an injured condition, John immediately healed him with his power. But this was too much for him, and blood started coming in his cough. Sophia understood that the poisonous gas had gone into John's lungs. She stepped forward and held John's hand and Tom's with the other. She could connect everyone's powers. As soon as the power of Tom's lungs went inside John, John became perfectly fine, and Sophia also realized her power. Now poisonous smoke was filling up fast in the factory. So the group planned to get out of here quickly. So everyone started leaving from there fast, but then Sophia suddenly stopped halfway. They had left Zero inside. After which Tom quickly pulled in a breath and went inside. He found Zero and everyone thought he would blow away all the gas, but he started giving Zero mouth-to-mouth breath. Anyway, somehow they both escaped and came out. It was a bit of a strange sight, but the job was done. Zero came out safe and sound. After this, the 5 of them went to a nearby restaurant to eat. John told everyone, "I got the power to save someone's life. I can take anyone's pain into myself. For a moment, I feel a lot of pain, but then it gets better after drinking water and resting a bit." By working together in this mission and saving people, a different bond was formed among them. The next day, John went to the hospital to see his injured colleagues, but there he met that old man in the lift. John worked in his company, so he saluted the old man. But by mistake, that mark on his palm became visible. Mino went closer and looked carefully and said, "Is this a tattoo?" To which John said, No, sir. Some time ago I had a liver transplant. After that, I don't know. This mark appeared on its own." But when Mino asked directly, "Did anything else change inside you?" John felt strange telling about the superpower. Therefore, he remained silent and said, "No, sir. Just feeling fine. Nothing else." Hearing this, Mino made a plan. Before leaving, he remembered John's name and where he works. That night, John was working as a driver to earn some more money. His passenger was none other than Tina's assistant. After some time, when his eyes opened, he was in a hospital. Tina told the doctor, quickly remove his liver. But before the doctors could start the operation, Mino arrived there. His intentions were not so clear. He asked the doctor, "If some part of the liver remains, does it grow back?" When the doctor agreed, Mino grabbed John by the throat and tried to suck his power. But he couldn't do this in John's case. He felt that maybe his power had become weak. So he tried it on a doctor standing nearby. That doctor instantly aged from young to old and died. Mino understood that his power will not work on people with superpowers. Mino said, "Cut 90% of his liver and give it to me. Leave the remaining 10% so that it grows back in his body." Now that the liver wasn't found, Tina told her team to catch the rest of the superpower people. Tom had just come out of a shop when bodyguards wearing suits pinned him to the wall. They were trying to make him unconscious by making him smell anesthesia. But he wasn't breathing at all. Then they made him release his breath by tickling him, and only then did he become unconscious. On the other side, Sophia and Zero were also attacked, and they were also caught soon. Finally, Lisa was surrounded right at the door of her house. Seeing the thugs, Lisa's father said, "Son, you sit comfortably. I will handle them." But the master was now only fit to teach 14-year-old kids. Maintaining her father's illusion and confidence, Lisa was secretly hitting those people in such a way that her father would think, "I am beating them." Lisa's father felt that he had defeated all the enemies, while the real work was being done by Lisa. But now she was so fast that as soon as he turned to look, she would be seen sitting comfortably on the bench. When all the thugs ran away, Lisa's father ran to her and asked, "Son, are you okay?" Lisa was saved, but the rest were stuck. Tina's people caught them and locked them in such a jail where they couldn't use their powers. On the other side, after the liver transplant, the old man Mino got the power to recover again. Now he had returned to his youth. He was looking younger than his own daughter. Actually, somewhere in her mind, Tina was waiting for her father's death so that she could become the owner of the whole company. But now, seeing her father, she felt that I will pass away before him. Mino went home, took a bath, and became very happy looking at his young body in the mirror again. Suddenly, it became dark there, and he had reached a different place altogether. A different power was standing with arms spread in front of him. Mino stepped forward and tried to hold that power's hands, but that unknown power pulled him toward it. His face would become young one moment and old the next, after which Mino jerked his hand away in anger. He understood that all this was going on in his mind. The injury on his hand caused by the glass breaking also healed in a moment, but he was still not satisfied. Now he decided that he would get all the organs. He wants everyone's superpowers. Now he wanted to become God so that people would worship him. Tina couldn't do anything against her father's power. Mino entered the jail made by Tina and started beating her people. Those people also couldn't do anything against his power. Mino soon found the 3 caught people. At that time, Zero was trying to snap with his toes because his hands were bound in a different way. As soon as he succeeded, 2 workers came to him and started taking him away bound. Zero snapped again with his feet and sent a message to Lisa, telling her about his location. With another snap, he also opened the door of Sophia's jail, but then the doctor made him unconscious the very next second. Lisa was preparing to save her friends. As soon as her father came to know about all this, he also went with her. By defeating the thugs in the previous fight, blind confidence had come inside him. The cornea had already been removed from one of Zero's eyes. Fortunately, he regained consciousness in time, and his other eye was saved because his sudden awakening damaged the other eye. Instead of killing him, Mino left him near John. In that time, John's liver had slowly started getting a bit better. John held Zero's hand so that he could heal his eye, which had been injured. To show his new power, Mino held an event where people whose diseases were incurable were invited. Everyone was shocked to see Mino's youth back. Showing a sample of his power, he broke a wall which had his old form printed on it, but people got scared in this way. Respect or devotion was not created in them. Therefore, Mino immediately changed his move. He held the hands of a disabled man, and with the help of the power obtained from John, he cured him completely. Then he went to a very sick girl and made her perfectly fine too. Now people were truly seeing him like God. Everyone knelt down and bowed before him. In that much time, Mino sensed that Lisa was coming. He snapped his finger and the path for them to come opened. Then, showing his drama, he sat on a large throne and reached in front of Lisa and her father. Seeing him, Lisa understood that this man is pulling everyone's power, and without thinking, she kicked him. Mino's hand actually broke, but as soon as he drank water, the fracture healed quickly too. Then Sophia and Tom also arrived there. The three friends were reunited. Mino said angrily, "Very good. Good that everyone met together. Now quickly give me your organs." Lisa's father still had a lot of useless confidence, and he moved toward Mino. But Mino waved his hand and blew him away. Lisa used her agility to somehow save her father so that he didn't get much injury. Then a terrific fight broke out between Lisa and Mino. Both of them had superpowers. Huge explosions were happening. Chaos was being created around by their fight. Poor Lisa had the power of only one organ, while Mino had 3, and he soon started beating Lisa badly. Now Tom and Sophia ran to her. Tom blew hard toward Mino and he fell far away. Mino got very angry at this act. He hit Tom's forehead hard with a finger and he fell down unconscious. Then Mino caught Sophia, but Sophia started pulling his power. Seeing this, Mino's senses flew away. He found out that Sophia can transfer powers. He said, "Quickly give me the power of the others, I won't even need to steal organs." But then Zero and John arrived there. Now the 5 were together against Mino. Mino gathered his power to finish everyone at once. Lisa was standing at the forefront. She whistled and signaled Tom. Tom understood and he blew a strong gust of wind toward Lisa. This gave Lisa a huge push and she punched with even more strength. There was no chance of fighting alone. Therefore, everyone combined their powers so that they could give support to Lisa. But Mino was quite powerful. Mino was also controlling the electricity around with his power. Zero was also attacking with the electricity around by snapping his fingers. But this was not enough to defeat Mino. Soon the large pillars of the hall started breaking. Statues started falling. The steel structure started appearing below. But below, everyone was busy worshipping their new god. Mino was injured, so he pulled the water collected on the ground and healed all his wounds. He tossed everyone aside one by one like a ball. Then he started strangling Lisa with one hand. Now blood was coming out of Lisa's mouth. Then he extended his hand towards Sophia, but the 5 together caught Mino and Sophia quickly put his healing power into Lisa. Now Mino had lost his power to heal again. On the other side, Lisa had now become many times more powerful than Mino. She washed Mino like she was beating a punching bag. After a while, Mino fell unconscious on the ground. This building started falling on all the followers sitting below. Now the structure of the building started falling, so the rest together handled it. But during this, Mino, finding an opportunity, pounced again, trying to steal their power. But in the end, Lisa's father did a spinning kick, and Mino went far away. They pulled the entire power out of Mino and he soon became old. Now he was sitting on the same throne with the help of which he had come up. Zero snapped and sent him back down in front of everyone. And when his devotees saw their god's true form, the truth came out before everyone. In the end, Mino lost everything.